Hey friends, it's Missy again. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm back with a new layout and video for Hip Kit Club, and I'm using the 2019 July kits for this. And my assignment for today is to incorporate black and white flowers from the kits and also some stitching. And so I'm going to do both of those today. And that's where I'm going to begin, by fussy cutting some of these Pink Fresh Studio black and white flowers. And this paper is from the Just a Little Lovely collection, and there's actually quite a bit of that collection in the kits this month. And so that's where I begin, by just doing a little bit of fussy cutting. So there is that is done. Off camera, I decided to make a summer layout. Surprise, surprise, you know, those are my favorite. And I'm going to use this paper as my background, also from Pink Fresh Studio, and I'm going to incorporate some of that yellow cardstock from the cardstock kit. I chose these two pictures. These are from our recent trip to the Bahamas back in June, and that's just me lounging under the tiki hut one day, drinking a giant pina colada, enjoying life. And yeah, this was perfect because not only do these colors just scream summer, but in the exclusive ephemera die cut pack, there are, I think, 4 little tropical drinks with umbrellas and cute straws and all kinds of different colors, and they're perfect for these pictures. And so that is what I'm gonna do. So this is me just kind of going through all the little bits and pieces that I picked out and just kind of playing around and seeing what looks good where, trying to decide, you know, how many colors do I want to incorporate into this. I actually wind up using a lot more colors than I planned on. I had no idea that I was going to use anything purple on this layout, but I wind up using different purple things, and it works out great. I just think that's cool when you just play around with things in the beginning and something jumps out at you that you hadn't even planned and you wind up loving it. And so that's kind of what happens here with the purple. Now my photos, you know, they're bright and summery, but like the picture of me, you know, my swimsuit's kind of got some dark colors in it. My hat is kind of dark. And so I felt like it was okay to incorporate some, like the darker purple, that Hello Summer bubble up at the top. It's more of a navy, darker blue. Because normally on my summer layouts, I like to keep things definitely, you know, bright and summery. But these pictures, while they're summery, they still have a little bit of dark color in them. And so I felt like I had a little more room to use darker pieces, if that makes sense. Okay, so I glued down the paper that I just tore there. I just wanted a big chunk of it, and I attached it to that yellow cardstock, and now I'm prepping all of it, or a lot of it, with white gesso. I'm not trying to cover up, you know, anything completely to where it's solid white. I just want to soften things up a little bit, and then I'm going to come in and add some blue. Obviously, there's no blue on my background here, and there's not a lot of blue in any of the die cuts that I'm going to use. And whenever I make a beachy layout, I've got to have some blue on there. It's just a given for me. It's just like the main color for me when I'm thinking of the beach or the pool. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. And I'm mixing 2 of the Lindy's Stamp Gang sprays. The one I used here, the lighter turquoise blue color, we got that a few months ago. And that one is called Tiffany Lou Blue. It's very shimmery when it dries. And I'm just using the packaging technique here with a little bit more water to kind of smush the color around and dab up a little bit with napkins or paper towels. And then the other blue there that I have not used yet, the darker blue, we get that this month. That is in the current color kit and is very bold. It's beautiful. It's more of a royal blue color. It's called Blue Hawaiian Blue. And so a little bit of that goes a long way. It's very bold, beautiful. But I didn't want to get too dark on my background, so I just use a little bit of that. And yeah, I'm just going to kind of play around with it and add a couple different, I like to use, you know, more than one shade of the same color just to add some dimension and some variation in the colors, just because I like lights and darks. And yeah, I just like the effect of that. So going back to the lighter blue, I'm going to add some splatters And then it looks like a big chunk of blue here, but once I put the pictures back on it, you'll see that a lot of it is hidden and you're only able to see a little bit kind of peeking around the photos. And I like that look, especially since there's so much yellow and pink. I did want a little bit of blue, and I felt like this was a good way to do that. And it's a good way to use your mixed media kit or the color kit, you know, to add color that's not in the paper. If you want to use it, you have that blue color to add in. So the color I just splattered there a second ago was the yellow spray that we get this month, and that one is called Yellow Rose of Texas. Again, very shimmery when it dries, also very bold. So yeah, little goes a long way. All right, so I did want to add a little bit of the blue over here behind the stuff that I'm going to tuck in right there on the yellow cardstock. So I'm just using my palette knife and I'm scraping on some of that Tiffany Lou blue. And a lot of that, again, is going to be covered up with that big flower that I fussy cut out. So again, you're just going to see it kind of peeking out from behind everything. And so don't let mixed media or using spray inks like this on your background, you know, scare you, because it looks like a lot, but when you put everything back on top of it, it completely changes the way it looks. You know, a lot of it does get covered, and, you know, and you're in total control of that. You can add as little or as much as you want. And my advice is, if you're new to mixed media or sprays or anything of this nature, is just to practice. Get out some scrap paper and just play around with it. You know the colors that you're using, know how much is enough, and yeah, just experiment with it before you know, go full force onto an actual background. That way you'll be more confident in doing it. All right, so here's where I got a little crazy and did something that I wasn't even planning on doing. I wanted to put some purple on this background, and so I went for that darker blue color, and then I also used the pink that we get this month. The pink is called Hibiscus Rose, and it is a flat color, so there's no shimmer in that pink, but I'm mixing it with the blue that is shimmery, and I'm making purple. And I really love how this turns out. I start out by just adding some splatters to see how it looks. Miraculously, I did not splatter any on my pictures. I don't know how I avoided that, because I am notorious for splattering it right on my photos. They're not even glued down. I don't even know why I didn't move them. Yeah, I just put my hand there like it was going to protect the picture, and I don't know how I missed it, but kudos to me for this round for not messing up my pictures. So I start by doing that just a little bit, adding a little bit. Yeah, now I move the pictures. Sometimes I amaze myself. I should have done that to begin with, but yeah, I like to live life on the edge. Crazy. Anyway, I'm coming back in with a little bit more blue to show beneath the pictures. I felt like it was just a little bit more blue needed. And then I decide to add some more purple. And I wind up actually adding some purple with the brush here in a minute, more than just splatters. And when I dab it up, it's very subtle. You can't really see any bold purple, but I just liked the way it looked, and I was very pleasantly surprised at how the purple looked against the yellow and the oranges, and that, you know, because some of the yellow is, like, the cardstock is more of a softer yellow, and then the yellow on the pattern paper is more of that orangey yellow. And so I was surprised that the purple actually worked, because I really never like yellow and purple together. And it's very rare. I don't, you know, I say I never use purple, but I've been using it more lately, but not on yellow cardstock. But I think it looks much better once everything is back in place and all the flowers and all the things that match are there with it. So hopefully that will make sense once it's all back together. So I mixed and matched some thread over here to the right. I mixed in like this burnt orangey yellow color with some pink and tucked both of those underneath there, just for a pop of something a little bit different to stand out against that yellow. And then here's where I did stitching. I kind of went crazy with the blue and the purple, and at first I thought I had ruined it, but just hold on. Don't give me a thumbs down yet. I know, I get my thumbs down, people, every video, and that's okay, but hold off. Let me at least explain. I wanted some texture. And when our assignment was to do stitching, I wanted the stitching on the background. So I got out some light blue thread and some purple and just kind of zigzagged back and forth, or straight stitched, not zigzag, straight stitched, you know, up and down, up and down, up and down on each color splotch. And a lot of it gets covered up. So it's, again, it's very subtle and you can just kind of see it peeking through the edges. I like it. I like texture on the background. I love stitching. I just did this same similar technique on another layout, and I really like how it turned out. It's fun to touch. It's fun to look at, I think, and it just adds a little something extra to the background. So, yeah, I like it. I think it just gives a little bit of that something different on the background. You don't have to do hand stitching or machine stitching if you don't like it. It's just something that I like to do. Like the way it turned out. So I'm adding some tissue paper. I'm adding some adhesive foam behind the photos there. I'm also going to add some foam behind this little banner and to some of the drinks and some of the flowers around the edges there. And if these die cuts look a little bit different, it's because off camera I went and trimmed off the white border on some of them, so they would be a little bit thinner and not so... Sometimes to me the white border makes everything just stand out a little too much, and I wanted the colors to kind of blend in a little bit more when they're beside each other on some of the things, if that makes sense. So I just trimmed off the white border. I did that on the banner here, so if it looks a little different, that's why. And I trimmed off the edges of the drinks. There's still a slight white border, but I trimmed them off a little bit closer. So I decided to add in a couple of the rub-ons from One Canoe 2. I'm going to use the two words or sentences that I have left. One says choose happy and one says slow down, and I thought those were both perfect for this, relaxing type of layout, because that's what I was doing. And the color is almost like that coppery color, so it matches that warm tones that I've got going on in the background, and it's very subtle, so it's not something that's going to just really jump out. Here's where I decided to do some more fussy cutting. I love this Project Life card that says vacay at the top, but I just wanted the letters, and so I fussy cut those out, glued those down because we were on vacation. And I know I've got something that says Hello Summer on here twice. That doesn't bother me. I like it. It's fine for me. I am going to use some of these big old chunky brads that we get in one of the kits. They are from Cartabella. And so I just use my little pokey tool that I've had there for forever. And I just poke a hole right into my layout and then stick the brads through there, flatten them out behind there. I use two of the big jewels and then two of there's a pineapple and a little flamingo. And I also wanted to use these bright and shiny thickers. They're very, very shiny and gold. So I wanted to tone down the gold so they're not so blinding. And I just dabbed a little white gesso over them and then dab it up with a little napkin. And I've done that before with things that are, very, very bold and gold. If you want to tone down the shine, just smudge a little bit of gesso. And they're still shiny and they're still metallic. They're just a little more on the matte side. And yeah, so my title is kind of going to be Hello Summer Eczema. Eczema is where we were, or not eczema. Did I just say eczema? Oh my gosh. Eczema. Do I even know where I was? Eczema is that stuff you get on your skin. Okay. Yeah, I need to go to bed. It's late at night. I think I've lost my mind. It's pronounced eczema. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that's the title. And I'm using my pen to write the journaling. It's a metallic gold pen. Anyway, regardless of what I said that's crazy today, there's the final layout. I love how this turned out. It was fun to make, and I love the addition of purple. Again, I didn't even plan on doing that. It just sort of happened. And I hope you like it. I hope you like the crazy stitching on the background. Look at those cute little drinks. I thought they were so adorable. Could not wait to use those. Eczema. Who am I? Sometimes I amaze myself. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. Thank you for tuning in to my crazy voiceovers. And hopefully next time I will have my brain screwed in straight. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.